Good morning, students. Today we are going to perform experiment number 1, that is load test of DC series motor. In this experiment, we will conduct load test on a DC series motor and we will plot the characteristics between torque and current, speed and current, speed and torque, efficiency and output power. So we have to plot these characteristics regarding DC series motor by performing load test. It means we have to perform the experiment by applying the load on a DC series motor, and we have to record these parameters so that we can plot and find the characteristics in different loading conditions. This is the circuit diagram to perform the experiment. This is our DC series motor which has armature as well as field winding for excitation, and the supply is given from here, 230 volt fixed DC supply. This is a starter and we will give the supply, and in the series of the armature winding, okay, in the series of this field winding will be placed and circuit will complete like this. So in this way, this is the motor, this is the field winding, supply is given from here. The load will be applied at the motor through the pulley. We will see how we can do that. Okay, so let us try to discuss to find the different parameters in the case of DC series motor. The first one is torque and input current. The circuit diagram that we can have, there is field winding, torque versus input current. The field winding, it is in series with the armature winding of DC series motor. We are giving 230 volt DC from here, and when we will do this, then IA will flow through the armature and the same current is flowing from field. So from here we will find that IF and IA are equal, both are equal. Now what we have to plot? We have to plot torque versus IA. So IA, to measure the IA, we will set up an ammeter, current meter here, okay, and to measure the torque we will do some exercise. So for that purpose, let us see. We know that the torque is proportional to the field flux multiplication with IA, and field flux is nothing, it is proportional to the IF. So we can say IF IA, and hence we can say this is nothing but IA from here. So we can say this is torque is proportional to IA square. We will see later how we can find the torque. This is the thing after finding the torque. If we plot the characteristics, then we will see how the characteristics should looks like. So we obtain that torque is proportional to the square of the armature current, or we can say motor current. Okay. So what it means? It means that if we plot the characteristics as given in part A of the object, the characteristics between torque and armature current, then we will find this is parabolic in nature, somewhat like this. But think if we increase the current and we will continue increasing of our armature as hence field current, so field flux will reach up to saturation and flux will saturate due to increase in IF, and once it will saturate means it will be fixed, it will not change further. In that case, torque will be proportional to the IA. So torque will be proportional to IA when the current will reach up to higher values. So up to a certain limit, it is proportional to I square. After that, it becomes linear to the IA. Okay, almost linear. So we can say this is the characteristics between torque and IA. So the first thing that is given here, we can do like this. How torque can be measured, we will see after some time. Okay. Second thing, that is the objective, speed versus input current. So speed versus input current. IA we have measured from here, from current meter, that is known as ammeter here. And we know in DC motor, speed is proportional to the V minus back EMF divided by flux, well known formula. Okay, and from here, if we will further write, then we can say N is equal to a constant V minus IA R armature plus field flux, field winding resistance. We can write like this, divided by phi. Okay. From here, we have known that phi f is nothing, it is proportional to IF, and IF is equal to IA. So we can say phi is equal to any constant times IA. We can say this. Okay, now put it here. We can write K V minus IA RA plus field winding resistance divided by KIA. From here, we find that speed is inversely proportional to the current. Okay, so if we plot the characteristics, then we will find speed of the DC series motor and IA, it is inversely proportional. When IA is 0, it will be very high and speed will be dangerously very high. And when we will increase this, it will follow the inverse relationship like that. Okay, so this is the characteristics regarding point number 2, that is speed versus current. Now speed directly we can measure from the tachometer. Now the third point is speed versus torque. The third one is speed versus torque. Now to complete the third sub-objective of this experiment, that is speed versus torque, we have the speed versus current relationship somewhat like this, as we have done for speed current characteristics here. We have written this formula here. Now speed we have measured from tachometer. Now the next thing is torque. Just we want to find out how the characteristics looks like. Okay, so for that purpose, let us we have to plot between speed and torque. So at the place of I, we should have torque. Okay, so this current can be replaced with the torque equation, and we know the relationship between IA and torque is given here. Okay, once IA From here we can find Ia is almost, it will be K times under root T. We can write to put it here. So when we will put it here, now in the place of Ia we will put K root T, and that will be V by K root T minus Ra and Rf from previous equation. So we will find speed is inversely proportional to the torque. Okay, so it will follow almost similar pattern or similar characteristics as it was in the case of speed and current. Okay, now the third objective that we have to follow, that is efficiency versus output power. So this is the DC motor in which the input is, let us, for efficiency versus output power. Okay, and as it is motor, the input power is in electrical form, that will be V and I, just multiplication of these two, and the output power is in the form of mechanical loading, that is mechanical output. So for mechanical output, there is a pulley, we are applying tension at this is T1 and this is T2. By changing the tension at this, we are changing the load at the motor. This pulley is coupled to the motor. By changing T1 and T2, the difference between these two, we are changing the load at this and hence the load at the motor shaft. Okay, so output power, we can say it is in mechanical form, that will be torque into rotational speed, we can say. Okay, torque will be change in the tension into gravitational constant G multiplied with the radius of the pulley at which this tension is applied. So you will read this T1 and T2 from the tension meter that is placed here. G, you know, R will be provided to you, that is 3 inch for, I think this is written there, I will show you after some time. So R is 3 inch. Once you know these three things, then you can find output power. Okay, output power is known to you. Input power you can find out just multiplying V and I by using the voltmeter here and ammeter here. The multiplication of these two value will give you input power Vi, and for output power you will do this. And if we will talk about the efficiency, then it will be output power divided by input power. Okay, the ratio will give you efficiency and the output into 100 if you will talk in percentage term. Okay, so in this lab you will be given the radius of the pulley, that is 3 inch. You will fix 230 volt and you will change the input current, means armature current, by changing the load T1 minus T2, and you will see after some time how we are changing T1 and T2, and corresponding you will measure for different loading conditions for the that is difference between T1 and T2. You will measure the speed of the motor by tachometer. Okay, so from here you will complete this table for different current by the change in loading. Okay, and the next one, you have recorded the armature reading and speed. You will find input power just by multiplying V and I. Torque you have calculated with the formula that I have explained, the tension difference into Rg, and the output power is just torque into rotational speed. And next you will find the efficiency, that is output power from here divided by input power. So for different readings you will complete this table. Hope it is clear. Now the final thing that we should be clear here, this is additional arrangement, that is X and X double X followed by this setup. So why this is given there, let us try to understand. In the beginning we have explained that the speed is inversely proportional to the current, and when there is no load, okay, when there is no load at the motor, no tension is applied, then there will be no current, okay, and if there is no current, then this value will be very high, extremely high. In that case, the extremely high speed can be dangerous. Okay, so to protect from that, this winding, this arrangement is provided. Okay, this one, X and X double X, this is the setup. Once speed will be very high and it will go towards the dangerous speed, then when centrifugal force will be more than a certain limit, and this centrifugal switch will stop the supply, and it will send the signal to the relay which will operate, and the switch will be tripped and the system will stop. So to protect from very high speed, this centrifugal switch is provided. You will see after some time how it is operated. Okay, so this is our experimental setup, in which this is voltmeter to give 230 to measure that the supply that we are giving to the armature of the across the armature of the DC series motor should be fixed, that is 230 volt. This is the ammeter to measure the armature current. This is DC ammeter, and this is the tachometer to measure the speed of the motor, and this is the pulley setup. We can see this is the belt system. We are applying tension to this pulley, and tension can be measured from here. In 4th semester or in 3rd semester you have performed same experiment, load test of 3-phase induction motor. Same setup is here for DC series motor. Okay, I think it is visible now. We will change the tension from here. Okay, we will increase or decrease from this set. So this is T1 and this is T2. This can be almost, we can keep it as it is fixed. We will change the tension of this, and by changing this we can change the difference of these two, and by changing the difference of these two we can change the loading at this pulley. Okay, so the radius of the pulley is 3 inch. Okay, so that I have discussed. And this is DC series motor. Rating of it is given here. Okay, this is centrifugal switch that is mentioned in your worksheet. This switch, once speed will be very high, then the centrifugal force that is acting inside will be more than the limit specified limit, then automatically it will trip the system and your motor will be shut down. Okay, so let us start the experimentation now. Now we switch on from here and this is starter. Okay, we can find 230 volt we are getting from here, not 230, less than that, maybe 220, and there is almost 13 ampere current we are getting. We have applied the load from here. Okay, we are applying load and we will measure the speed. That is around 1030. Now we will decrease the load. When we are decreasing the load, then you will find the current is also decreasing here. It becomes almost 12 and it remains fixed as it was in the beginning. That is coming from 6 this value and this T2. So this is T1 and this is T2. There is, you can note down, this is 25 and this is almost 3. Next load is clear. Okay. Now apply the load again. Now release the load. Okay, after releasing a certain amount, you can see here it becomes 9.8. Okay, leave it. This 9. Okay, this 10 ampere, and this remains almost fixed. You can see load changes 20 from it was previously it was 25, now it becomes slow, that is 20 and it remains almost same 3. Okay, so we are changing the difference between these two only. So by changing this difference we are changing load on it fully. Okay, please release the connection now. Okay, further to release the connection. It becomes negative now. As we have released the tension and we reduce the load continuously, then it becomes almost in no load condition and the speed becomes very high and the centrifugal switch tripped by itself and the current becomes 0. Okay, and for cooling purpose we provided water here. Okay, this was the full operation. We recorded the reading and that reading is given here. You can find we have recorded the voltage was almost 230 in the beginning when the T2 was 36 and T1 was 9 kilogram F. At that time the current was 13 ampere. Here I have written 12.5. This is previous year reading. That's why there is little bit mismatch. Actually we have not applied the exact load as it is written here. That's why our reading was 13, but it is previous year, so it is 12.5. So you have to follow this reading. Okay, just I have shown one example how we record the readings, and we have measured the speed Okay, and different loading conditions, you have seen the different speeds. So follow these readings for your calculations and plotting. Okay, so you have to plot 4 different characteristics on the basis of this reading.